Good afternoon.
Raise your hand to ask questions. We'll pass the mic to you. Start it right over there, Joe.
Hey, Tom, how much do you enjoy being the underdog and that being, how much of a motivating factor is that for you? It doesn't happen very much.
I don't think about it too much, what people might say or think, but we're playing against a very good football team, and they're the first seed for a reason. They've had a great season, and we're gonna have to go into a really tough environment and play our best football. So it should be it's a great opportunity for us, and hopefully we can take advantage of it.
Tom Curran in front.
Hey,
Oh man, you haven't been around in a while.
I know, I'm back.
Good.
It's playoffs.
It's a big week.
I wanted to ask you about fourth down. And you guys used to go for it a ton. I was looking at it. You guys went for it over 20 times each season, '06 through '08, '09. And then you've tapered off a little bit. But the way Kansas City plays, they're so explosive and dangerous, and the possessions are going to be at such a premium. Does using all four downs for you guys offensively become maybe a strategic point as well?
Could be. I mean, I think situationally, however, the game's going, and I think when sometimes you get into games and offensively you're doing really well, and you feel like, if we have that extra down, we can get it. Sometimes it's not going as well, and you feel like they've been stopping us, and then you punt. So I don't know what those particular reasons were. I'm sure there was a reason for all of those, why we would go for them, why we wouldn't. How many times did we go for it this year? 14. 50%. It's not very good.
Do you feel emboldened ever to lobby for it? Or do you kind of say that's Josh and Bill?
I mean, we talk about a lot of scenarios for the game and so forth. So, whatever the situation presents, I think we'll try to do what's best or what we think's best or gives us the best opportunity to win. So, it's one game. If you don't win, that's it. That's what the playoffs are about. And you're right. They got a great offense. We're going to need to score a lot of points.
Tom, is there a constant that you can point to that you can see why the team keeps going to these AFC Championship games?
Our team?
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
What happens organizational-wise or team-wise for these opportunities to keep that?
I've never sat to think about any of those things. I mean, I really haven't thought about anything like that.
Tom, with cold weather and elements in mind, what are the factors that you consider whether to wear a glove on either hand going into this game?
Yeah, it's obviously weather's a factor anytime you play in January, in these colder climates, and Kansas City, obviously a cold climate. They're used to it. We've been practicing it for the last 2 months. It hasn't been extreme cold, but it's been cold enough to know what you got to wear and how you got to deal with it the best way you can. I play in a lot of games over the years where weather's a factor, so you just dress for it, and hopefully our blood's thickened up enough here being in the Northeast to deal with some of the cold, which I think it has. And even days like this today, they're cold and they do a good job preparing you. It'll be colder Sunday than it's been at any point this year, so have a little mental toughness, a little physical toughness, and just deal with it the best you can.
Tom, Bob Sutton's somebody whose defenses you guys are pretty familiar with between his time in Kansas City and with the Jets. How would you characterize his defenses? And is this a week where you guys feel like, because of your experience against him, you have a pretty good idea of what you might be seeing?
Yeah, we played him quite a bit over the years, and obviously very well coached, offensively, defensively, special teams. Bob Sutton's a hell of a coordinator. They've had some incredible units that we played against. They've got playmakers, at each level. They've got obviously a good scheme. They make you work for it. It's a very tough, hard-nosed team, and they compete on every snap. They've been in a lot of close games this year, and it's a great challenge for us. I don't think you can take anything for granted. These guys are going to play extremely hard, and they rush well. They try to be stout and there against the run. They got some good, hard-nosed linebackers, And the secondary, they're not afraid to tackle. They'll go up there and mix it up with everyone. And, that's a lot of what our first game was like. There was a lot of battles at the line of scrimmage. And, we're going to have to win our fair share. Hi, Karen.
Hi. Tom, last week's performance against the Chargers is a performance I think that you collectively as an offense is what you've been striving to achieve all year. What's it going to take to, back it up and repeat that performance next week?
Yeah, it's going to be, I think we talk about in these games, it's not like a special play or, there's a special formula. It's just, excelling at the right time, and, there's no play you can call, this is guaranteed 10 yards here, or this is a defense that gets up in your face and they try to challenge you and they don't make yards easy, and we're going to have to go dig them out. We're going to have to fight for every yard, toughness, effort. All those things play into it, obviously scheme and execution, but I think some intangible things are very important about, finishing blocks and out-efforting the guy that's over the top of you, or winning your one-on-one matchup and pass, running your pass route, because these guys, that's what they're trying to do too. And, even the first game we played against them, we had some opportunities that we, came up with down the field. There was other ones we were really close and we just didn't. And, that could be the difference, and you never know which play it's going to be. And I think everyone's going to be counted on. You got to, similar to last week, it's about, distributing the ball to everybody, making them defend everybody on the field and run, pass, everything. And that's, that's why we were effective last week, and hopefully that's why we're effective this week.
Tom, I've got two quick ones for you, if you don't mind. You guys are 3-point underdogs going into this game. It's the first time the Patriots have been an underdog with you at quarterback in 3 or 4 years now. Just how does that feel, being the underdog going into this one?
Doesn't change much for us, but it just, shows you kind of what, people would think about, what our chances are. That's about it.
Doesn't
no more added comment to that.
Extra motivation at all?
I mean, if you're not motivated this week, you got a major problem. I mean, this is the week where, you shouldn't have to put any extra in. This is what it's all about. You sign up any chance you get to play an AFC Championship game. So I don't care where, when, time, cold, weather, rain, blood, don't matter.
Also, you guys have been excellent at home this year, 9-0, but struggled on the road, 3-5. Why do you think you guys have struggled so much on the road this year?
I think I just look at those games individually, and I know why we haven't won those games individually. I don't think it's a, broad sweeping thing. It was a little bit in each game, and I think the point of that is this is not the week to have less than our best. So it's a tough game. It's a tough challenge. It's tough to beat the number 1 seed on the road. I mean, that's the reality. It's just like we're tough to beat at home when we're the number 1 seed. It takes a lot. It takes a lot of good football. It takes a great complementary game. All 3 phases have to be on point. We're going against a team that score a lot of points. They lead the league in sacks, strip sacks. It's a good group, and I think everybody at every position has to play well. That's what championship games are all about. These aren't just handed to you on a silver platter and here you go, here's your trip to the Super Bowl. You got to go fight them out. We've been in a lot of games that come down right to the end.
Tom, has the use and the effectiveness of the 21 and 22 personnel sort of helped you maybe establish an offensive identity late in the year after some of the things that you went through earlier?
I think those, are good groupings for us. I think we have confidence in whatever grouping we put out there, else, the reality is we wouldn't put it out there. And I think those groups are good. It's certainly a style of football we like to play, and it sets up a lot of things, obviously running the ball. And then play actions off the run game, are very important. They help you create space. It's impossible to create space in the defense, drop back pass like you can when you play action, and you can displace underneath coverage and so forth. But yeah, both those are going to be effective, and we'll see as the game plan shakes out what we use more of, and but every player is ready to go, and who's ever called on has to go out there and execute their job, run, pass, whatever it is.
Bill talked this morning about how different both teams are from the last time you guys met in October. He said he thinks you guys have gotten better. I'm just curious, your opinion after everything you guys have been through, where you think this team stands right now compared to October.
Yeah, hopefully we've improved. I think, we've worked pretty hard. You've put a lot of time and energy into it, and you're at a point where, you know, this is as many practices as we've had, as much as this team's been together. It's a lot of communication, a lot of meetings, you know, a lot of things that we've tried that maybe haven't worked, and you know, we got one game guaranteed this Sunday, but nothing beyond that. So, you know, whatever we got, it's just the best that we got, and it's you know, that's how it should be in these games.
2 final questions, guys. What's your standings?
Tom, you've been playing long enough.
Right here.
Yeah, I know. A lot of years.
That's right.
Speaking of that, you've been playing long enough where your kids are older now.
Yep.
How cool are these moments, these games now for them and for your family? It's different now, isn't it?
Absolutely different than when I was, you know, young and very little responsibility, and now kids. It's a lot of fun. It's great for me. My daughter's 6. You know, she's a great cheerleader for us. My oldest son is into every play. My middle son is not into any play, and it's perfect. So, you know, we get to talk about it on the way home, and you know, they're understanding more and more, but they're still my kids, so they don't care much about Dad. They'd rather hang with Gronk and Jules and all those other guys.
They don't give you any advice? Your oldest boy, you gotta tell you what to do?
My oldest son Jack does a little bit. You know, he can analyze it pretty good.
Last question, Mr. Thompson.
Tom, just comment on the way James White has shown up on big games for you guys these past couple of years.
James has, you know, been an exceptional player for us, obviously in the biggest games, and we have so much trust in him and his ability to make the right decision. He's great with the ball in his hands, run game, pass game. Just been an exceptional player in every way, great teammate, and you know, they don't make too many like him. So I think we're all lucky to have him on our team, playing, competing, and you know, that's what it's about, playing your best in the biggest games. James always done that.
Big Ten guy.
I know. Love those Big Ten guys. Where's he at? Oh. Thank you.